Hi, this is John from Monstercraftsman. We're going to show you how to install the clamp-on chain tensioner, and what you're going to need is a 7/16 socket and a 3/16 Allen wrench, and we're just going to go through the procedures to install it on your bike, so just follow along. Alright, so what we have here is the clamp-on 530 sprocket chain tensioner. This is a standard 530 chain. It's on most motorcycles. There are other sizes, but this sprocket is for the 530 chain. Now you can do this one of two ways. You can either take your chain off in order to get to your frame to clamp on the chain tensioner, or if you know that you have room, you can just leave your chain on, maybe loosen it up a little bit so you have a little bit of area to work with. So the first thing you do when you are installing this chain tensioner basically are just mocking it up, lining it up, seeing where it's actually going to go on your frame. So if I were to slip this on underneath the chain and put the clamp on the cross member, I can see pretty much where it's going to go right now. Now when you're mocking up the chain tensioner, it's a good idea to actually look down over top of your chain and just see if everything is in a straight line and your sprocket is tracking straight with your chain. At this point, I'm just going to go ahead and put the clamping mechanism on. Basically have the bottom clamp attached to the chain tensioner. You have your Allen heads, which are 3/16. You have lock nut and lock washer. The lock nut is 5/16. Once you have your nuts and bolts finger tight, you can go ahead with your tools, start tightening down each side of the clamp evenly until it's snug, and then you can check your alignment before you do your final tighten down, keeping in mind that you're going to be using Loctite on all hardware. Now that we have the chain tensioner in line and loosely tightened, I just wanted to reiterate that where you tighten the clamping mechanism down will determine how much tension is on the spring. If you were to clamp it at 12 o'clock, it's going to preload the spring more. If you let it down a little bit, it will be less tension on the spring. And that's what's neat about this design, is that you can actually effectively change the tension of your spring by where you mount the chain tensioner, in addition to the finger hooks on the swing arm. So we're going to go ahead and clamp it down, tighten it to a torque spec of 10 to 12 foot-pounds, and that will ensure that your chain tensioner is not going to move at all. Keep in mind that you never want the moving parts of the chain tensioner to come in contact with a stationary part of the frame. This goes for every chain tensioner that we sell. If the swing arm comes down, you do not want it to be in contact with anything stationary on the frame. If you have any questions about that, give us a call, 1-800-777-4271. After you get your nuts and your bolts snug, you check your alignment again, make sure it's tracking straight, and go ahead and tighten down the chain tensioner. Again, you want to bounce back and forth and tighten everything down evenly. Now when you do your final tighten down of the chain tensioner, you want to use a torque wrench and tighten the nuts to 10 to 12 foot-pounds. Make sure you use Loctite on every bit of hardware, and then you're good to go.
I'm spun just like a raisin in the sun. I'm fried out, but the fun has just begun. And I swear, with all the love inside my head, I've gotta dish it out and gotta share. But lately, I've been walking this road, searching for